Hey everyone, how's it going? Deadly Dita here. Today we are bringing you another video for Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening. So this video I want to talk a little bit about ExHard, which is the hardest difficulty in the game, and how you can actually conquer this without just getting absolutely demolished. So just a little bit of background. I did get a creator code from Koei, so I was able to play this game before its official release. So thank you to Koei. Um, I've put in substantial hours into this game, and honestly, it's probably one of the games that was really difficult to pick up. I'll be honest, like I do play a lot of different strategy games, like any of the Total War games, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. But this one, it took me quite a bit to kind of at least figure out the mechanics. It probably wasn't until like 5 to 8 hours in until I felt comfortable and actually kind of knew a little bit about what I was doing. So normally, you start the game, I'm like, hey, I am the best. I am amazing. I literally start the game and I play extra hard difficulty. I get deleted like an hour in. All right. And that's not a joke. It's actually quite funny. And I was like, whoa, all right, extra hard is no joke. So what do? I obviously start a new playthrough because that one, at some point your situation is basically unsalvageable and you just can't really do anything about it. So I start a new playthrough, do normal, and try to figure out, just the basic mechanics. So for extra hard, I think the reason why people are having trouble with this difficulty is because, well, first of all, it's kind of cheating, right? Like the the uh, the AI just gets a bunch more stuff than you do. It's basically stacked against you. It's like a difficulty modifier, right? It's just kind of stats. I don't think the AI is actually like smarter or anything. Generally speaking, I think like normal AI is pretty smart already. And all right, here's the secret. Let me just get right into it. All right, the secret here is that you're probably not using diplomacy enough. Um, I've played a bunch of these strategy games. Diplomacy typically isn't where you go. All right, like you think about Total War or Romance of the Three Kingdoms or whatever. Like you're probably building up your economy and you're probably brute forcing, battles with your massive army that you supported with your economy. The problem with extra hard difficulty in Nobunaga's ambition is that one, you're probably not going to have the best army. You're probably also not going to have the best economy. So put those two things together, and you're basically screwed unless you kind of actually put some focus into diplomacy, right? Because you know, if you just look at the scenario page, there's going to be a bunch of clans there that will be like there's a big like soldier and officer disparity, all right? And the way the game actually works with like soldier counts and such is pretty interesting. I hadn't really seen that before where, you have to get an officer to a certain like honor level or rank before they could like command an army, right? They had to become an infantry leader. So even if you collect a bunch of officers, if they can't command the armies, they're not really helping you out from that sense. But again, there is no secret here that you're probably not going to get the best economy, which means that you're not going to get the best army. All right, I mean that's just the fact there. So what do you have to resort to? You have to resort to actually being diplomatic. And what do I mean by that? All right, it doesn't mean just like go diplomacy tab and offer tributes or whatever. It's actually being really strategic about allying, becoming allies, probably a better term, with your neighbors. All right, if you've got a really strong neighbor, dude, send somebody over there and just develop goodwill. All right, it takes 60 trust points to get goodwill. Once you get that, you can ally with them. You can even ask him to defend you if you get attacked. You can ask for reinforcements, which means that you could actually uh, command them to basically reinforce you when you're attacking another castle. Okay, And here's the secret, guys. You if you play this game for at least a couple hours, you are gonna get the dreaded message. All right, and this was like terrifying to me. It's like, oh, like your advisor's telling you, oh, someone like Nobunaga is marching to your domain with 30,000 soldiers, and you're like, dude, what? What does that even mean, man? Like, you have like 2,000 soldiers in that domain. So how is that possible that somebody has 30,000 soldiers that they're running to your domain? That's crazy. All right. And you know what? That's happened, and every time that's happened before I figure out the secret, it's not gonna be secret after this. But it's like, dude, it's just screwed. Like, it's like, oh, restart. Like, go next, right? But actually, there's a lot of different things you can do. First one, and this isn't more on the diplomatic side, this is just what you should do, is set that base up as a defensive base and just set up assistance bases nearby it. Obviously, that's number one. And here, number two, and probably the most important thing, is actually to offer truce. You cannot screw this up, all right? If you offer truce and it doesn't go well, you can't ask him to truce with you for quite a bit of time, all right? So don't mess it up. And sometimes you're gonna have like outrageous demands, like, I don't know, cut your alliance off with somebody else, and maybe that's worth it to you. But generally speaking, all right, generally speaking, what you're gonna want to do is actually set up a defensive base. If the opponent cannot break through, and let's say you screwed up the truce, they might be the one who would suggest a truce. All right? And this is controversial here, but trust me, I've been through enough of this. I've played through hours and hours of this. If somebody offers that you become their vassal, and it's either that or literally getting wiped, dude, go be their vassal. It's literally going to be fine. Okay? And you know what? When you're their vassal, what they're actually gonna do, and you can't like tell them to like go attack somebody, but if you're like marching towards somebody, if somebody's trying to attack you, what I've seen is that the AI will actually go attack them. All right, and that leaves the AI and the other AI kind of just basically diminishing their armies for you, and that gives you a lot of opportunities to capitalize on it. So when you get an offer to become a vassal of somebody, dude, it's fine. Just go become a vassal, because what that will do is offer you a ton of protection, and once you get that protection, you can actually just expand. All right, you can expand under the vassalage, I think is the term, of whoever is the stronger kind of supreme army. And that's totally all right. I think that is 100% the secret to conquering ExHard Difficulty. I haven't, so I'm like in the middle of one playthrough where I've really put a lot of focus on diplomacy, more so than just like building my own economy, and it's really worked out to the point where I got attacked by like a 50,000 army. I said, all right, man, like I will be your vassal. All right, and obviously it's not gonna attack their own vassal, so that's just given me a lot of, I guess, opportunity to capitalize. And whenever they're attacking somebody, I'm usually like, oh, like obviously the other AI who they're attacking has to send their troops there. Again, leaving castles open for you to take, which in turn can boost up your economy. This is like the number one tip, I think, in how to defeat ExHard Difficulty. Really just focus on diplomacy and go become a vassal. Or I guess I didn't talk about this. The one other thing is, like, if you're like offering a truce, dude, just give up a castle, right? Just give up a castle. Otherwise, you're gonna take that castle and they're gonna keep going. So, like, mathematically, logically, like, this is what you should do. All right. I hope that was helpful. If it was, make sure